Hello, beautiful being, and welcome back to the channel. Did you know that as a highly sensitive person, your greatest work isn't going to come through meditation or visualization or energy clearing, but your greatest work is actually going to come in cultivating good habits and patterns. We can use our sensitivity to create magic in the world and access our gifts, but only if we're grounded. And if you think about it, a lot of sensitive people they gravitate towards spiritual practices because it resonates for them. And those spiritual practices are amazing, but if you lean into spiritual practices and you're feeling discombobulated, you feel like your wealth isn't flowing, you feel like your relationships aren't working out, you feel like your health isn't flourishing, then it's highly likely that you need to return to cultivating good habits and patterns, because how we hurt ourselves as highly sensitive people is we have bad habits. Sensitivity doesn't hurt us, bad habits hurt us. Your sensitivity does not harm you. Bad habits around your sensitivity will harm you. And I just posted this on my Instagram. It's a post about how we don't have to regulate ourselves as sensitive people by trying to regulate the people around us or manage the circumstances around us or hyper attune to all the details that are going on around us. That's just one. I've got this highly sensitive person's guidebook. It's a beautiful guidebook based on the bunny and the stag, showing you how to move from that kind of frightened, hypersensitive thing where everything kind of hits your nervous system and everything's throwing you off, to being in that powerful, strong, moving energy. If you ever see a deer or a stag, they're very sensitive, but they're very powerful. So today I want to talk about just this one aspect. My guidebook has 12 or 14 chapters in it, and each chapter goes into a habit that we do that hurts us, and then there's information on how to shift that habit into one that helps us and heals us, from hurting ourselves to helping and healing ourselves as highly sensitive people. And that habit that we have of regulating other people, of focusing on the outside, is one of the most detrimental habits, because essentially what we're doing, let's say we try to regulate someone else, right? We're trying to regulate someone else's nervous system so we can feel okay, instead of regulating our own nervous system so we can feel okay. And when we try to regulate someone else, we lose sovereignty, we lose autonomy, we lose who we really are, because oftentimes you're trying to regulate other people by pushing yourself down, not saying that thing, or saying that thing, or doing that thing, or overextending yourself, or holding yourself back. The way that we try to regulate others is exhausting. And I would say the vast majority of highly sensitive people don't even fully recognize when they're doing it. They might realize it in big situations, but they won't realize it in the small day-to-day, how it's like, because it's so in there. It's been going on for so long, because a lot of times, and I talk about this in the guidebook, highly sensitive people were born into families where the parent couldn't really be the parent, or the parent was volatile, and the child couldn't be the child. So you're not able to feel and express all that you are. That's kind of the core upbringing for most sensitive people. You couldn't feel what you felt and express what you need to express to be your true self. So you were trying to get love by helping to stabilize mom, trying to get love by acting a certain way around dad that wouldn't trigger him. It looks a little bit different for everyone, but those subtle ways that we push ourselves down, and then catapult our energy out to other people, that makes us even more sensitive in the way that actually harms us. Our sensitivity wasn't designed to do that to us. So a couple things happen here, and that's the rooster that wakes me up and crows throughout the morning. God bless him. What happens though is when you jump your energy out to monitor mom, dad, now it's your lover or your friends or your boss or your coworkers or anyone on the street, you are losing your power and your energy. Your energy literally goes whoop, then it's outside of you. Then you're feeling depleted. Then you don't know how you feel. You don't know how you feel, or if you're feeling what someone else feels, or what's going on. And you're also releasing that energy out of your cells. That your body needs that energy to be healthy. And I think this is a big part of why a lot of empaths, intuitive, and highly sensitive people are unwell or have chronic illness. I know it was a big part of my own journey, and still is, to keep my energy in me and mind my own business. Mind your own business. Mind your own business. You don't need to jump out and regulate everyone anymore, because it's just a way of trying to have control. And good job to the part of you that had to get through her childhood or his childhood by doing that, but you're no longer the child. And it's time to parent yourself in a new way and say, no, sweetheart, you get to feel your feelings and be within yourself and regulate yourself. It's no longer about doing that. And there's going to be a resistance there, because it's a freaky feeling to go from, managing everyone else's shit to your own. That's why a lot of people in the world just want to talk about what's going on with everyone else, because dealing with your own stuff is a different game. There's a lot of accountability that has to go on, and gentleness and love. And another way I witness highly sensitive people doing this leap outside of their energy is they'll focus on the planetary shifts and what's going on everywhere outside of them. And that's fine to acknowledge, but it's just another way of leaping out, going outside of yourself to see what's going on out there and try to manage, this alignment's happening here, and Pluto is in this house, and this is going on. And it's just another way to reach outside of ourselves and try to manage things from the outside in instead of from the inside out. And that is deeply damaging. And it's so empowering to go from the inside out, because that is a place you actually do have, I don't like using the word control, but you do have control over that. And the way you gain control and bring your power back into yourself is to start minding your own business. And a lot of the tips I'm going to give you guys might seem too simple, but what you'll learn is that simplicity is key. Simplicity is especially key for highly sensitive people, because we are picking up on everything all the time. And when you can start doing simple practices and simple things, you're going to regulate your nervous system. Everything's going to kind of calm down and smooth out. So what you'll end up doing is going within yourself and not having to figure out everything outside of you all the time to feel safe, because you'll know you've got safety in you, because you'll have explored yourself, you'll have sat with your emotions, you'll have listened to yourself, and most importantly, you'll have learned to respond to yourself in a way that is loving to you in each moment. And that's a practice. Like any relationship, you're going to have to build on that. You're going to have to build the loving relationship with you. And when you start learning how to and consciously responding to yourself in a way that is loving, you'll realize you don't have to control everything outside of you anymore. For example, if you receive criticism and you respond to yourself with, okay, I'm going to take this piece of the criticism to improve myself, That part I don't agree with. And I love myself, and I love that I tried. I love that I'm putting in effort here. I love that I'm brave enough to go out and do things and fail, because the most successful, resilient people have the most failures under their belt. I'm really proud of myself. I got this. And I can take a rest and rally and find a new approach. When you can respond to yourself in ways that are loving and supportive to you, in ways that actually nourish you, it doesn't matter what happens to you, because you're going to show up for you. And it's like, I would say 2 to 5%. Life is 2 to 5% what happens to us in our surroundings, from other people, from the world. And then it's 95 to 98% how we respond, because we are with us all the time. We're in our head, we're in our body, we're in our feeling space all the time. So if we're saying, this sucks, this means I suck, this means I'm never gonna have this means this means that, we are going to constantly be attacking ourselves, and that's going to make us more vigilant towards controlling outside circumstances, because essentially we're going to think to ourselves, oh shit, nothing bad better happen to me. This person better not criticize me, so I better stay small. This person better not judge me, so I better be perfect. That makes you even more vigilant to the outside world, because you know if someone says something or does something to you, you're going to attack yourself afterwards. And isn't that the definition of all of these strange diseases that are coming up? These autoimmune diseases are the self attacking the self. So when we stop attacking ourselves, we can ease up on feeling like we need to control everything and everyone around us, and we can start going into ourselves, and we can start having a loving relationship with ourselves. And I encourage you to see it as a process. A lot of times in spiritual practices, it's like, okay, now I need to do this. No, this is where developing good habits comes in. It's time for you to focus on the practical habits that will help you live your magic. That's why we call this work practical magic, because we're merging the worlds. And if you're a highly sensitive person, you need to live your life in a grounded way. That's how your magic's going to flow in the most beautiful way. That doesn't mean closing your eyes and visualizing roots going into the ground. Living your life in a grounded way means living present with yourself, living with your feet on the ground, living in a way where you have rituals and you have habits and routines that keep you grounded and centered, so your magic can flow, so your blossoms can blossom. You know, if you're rooted deep enough, you can the flower can be the most beautiful that it can be. So what's a little practice you can do today? I think that one of the most powerful ones is going to be very simple, and that is to start journaling your feelings. To start journaling how you feel about certain things and situations. And to start minding your own business. Don't ruminate, don't hyper-focus, and start becoming a little bit more aware when you alter yourself for other people. Awareness is the first step, and then you can, gently start showing up in a new way and start creating some new amazing habits for yourself that help you live in a grounded way, so you don't constantly feel like you're going off kilter. There's a bunch of amazing information in my Highly Sensitive Person's Guidebook. It comes with a workbook, so after each chapter, you're going to have practices and things that you're going to be implementing into your life to start shifting the harmful habits and turning them into helpful, healing habits for your beautiful, highly sensitive soul. So I would be excited to share that guidebook with you. I've got the link down here where you can pre-order or order if it's later on in the year, And if you're a highly sensitive person that feels like you need a coach and you want some one-on-one support, I'd be happy to help you with that too. Again, the link is down here. And be gentle with yourself and live in a grounded way. And I hope you have the most magical day.